Right, so, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to highlight this that happened in Parliament. I'm a bit late, but man, it's never too late for content, man. Especially when it's political. You know what I'm saying? So, Angela Brown Burke and Mikeal Phillips. Round of applause to both of you, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Finally, somebody called out the Prime Minister. Well, not finally, but you know what I mean. It's refreshing to see it happen more often. It's very refreshing to see it happen more often where his counterparts are calling him out for all of the lies he be telling, bruh. Just flat out lies. And then the cheap blaming the next administration for the failures of his own. Man, shout out to Angela Brown Burke and Mikeal Phillips, boy. And listen, and Isabel Rose, y'all make sure y'all go over there and check her out. And of course, Talking My TV all day, you heard? Yes, yes. So let's get it. Let's hear what he got to say and let's hear how they reacted.
Wrote the 30K, my people. Share out the videos, them.
You see, the PNP did everything to fight the use of states of public emergency to deal with Jamaica's exceptionally high crime and murder rate. Everything. Fight it. Because they see how effective it was. But you see, the mistake that they made was to believe that the Jamaica Labour Party and my administration was relying on states of public emergency. No. Every work that the government allocates, every resource that the government allocates for public works goes through a rigorous process of accountability. There is no money to be gotten without work to show for it. I think it needs to be said because there is an expectation among some persons that, yes, government allocate this Christmas work, we just collect a thing and no work is done for it. That is not the case. All of these works go through a rigorous process. They are audited, they are reviewed, and the agencies are held accountable. Work must be done. Now, we have allocated these resources on what is called the routine maintenance cycle. And it follows the rain cycle, especially. So November is usually a rainy month, and so we do routine maintenance in and around this period of time. It so happens that it coincides with the Christmas season. And that is why some people may confuse it and call it Christmas work, but it is not. It is a part of the routine maintenance cycle, which happens to coincide with Christmas. And as the member from St. Catherine North Central pointed out, there is no other funds coming for Christmas. So, this is a routine initiative, including strict oversight, ensuring funds are utilized efficiently for road clearance, drain cleaning, garbage collection, and sanitation. It addresses specific priorities, including reopening blocked roads, drains, cleaning drains, road repairs, and constructing minor retaining walls and culverts where possible under the program. The $22 million per constituency is allocated as follows. $10 million for road rehabilitation, with flexibility to reallocate up to $5 million from other categories if needed, allowing for a maximum of $15 million for road repairs. So, members of parliament have a certain pool allocated to them, or rather allocated to their constituency. To be clear, Mr. Speaker, the reason why we do this is to allow for greater impact at the community level. It is to give the members of parliament the ability to respond to local pressures. $15 million, Mr. Speaker, let me be clear, that cannot fix an entire road. It maybe will give you at most 2 kilometers if you're just doing a simple overlay. Maybe 3 if you're doing it in sections, but that can't repair an entire road. In general, members of parliament would have, based upon what we have allocated under the REACH program, and this possibly 30 million in total. But you have to use it with great discretion and use it to ease the pain points in your constituency. I have to be at great pains here to say it will not solve every problem, but at least use it to solve those major ones. Mr. Speaker, $6 million out of the 22 is allocated for bushing, with a minimum allocation of $3 million, but with a potential for $3 million reallocation from other categories, making a maximum of $9 million if necessary. The member, my sister neighbor from St. Andrews Southwest, the allocation, the standard allocation is $6 million. However, you cannot use less than $3 million because you could decide to allocate from bushing to roads. Right, because roads is 10, so you could take 3 and put it onto roads, but you can't go below 3. Or you could reallocate from somewhere else to bushing on top of your standard 6, so you would get 9. So minimum 3 million, maximum 9 out of the 22. Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have asked the first question. I'm not sure if you heard it, but I'm sure the Prime Minister would have. No, I'm not repeating it because, well, the first one is whether or not this $22 million program is going to go the way of the $40 million, the spark and the reach, that not sparking or reaching. That was the first question. The second question, Mr. Speaker, is as I listened to the Prime Minister, I was wondering if this was his first term in government and whether or not there is no responsibility for any of the period that has passed for the work that the government would have been doing in maintaining our roadways. That's the second one. The third question, Mr. Prime Minister, has to do with the fact that the monies are to be spent by the end of February. In my experience, even when the program is submitted, there are times when, because of negligence on NWA's side, we find that we are approaching the deadline and they have not moved. I want to make sure, therefore, that you are going to ensure that it is done in a way that we are not held responsible for the negligences of the NWA. And then my final question really is that, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm not sure if you have ever heard of this slogan, never come see, come see. It is a Jamaican term. Never come see, come see. It is a Jamaican term. And as I listened to your speech today, I was wondering if you were epitomizing that never come see, why everything you blame we instead of taking responsibility.
Embarrassing. He needs some milk.
Damn, ladies and gentlemen, shots fired from Angella Brown Burke, and rightfully so. But let's hear Mr. Mikeal Phillips on that same topic. Lord have mercy.
Prime Minister came here with a lot of vim and vigor.
Watch him face.
So, I'm not sure about the vitality part, but vim and vigor to hold others accountable for the failure of his own administration.
Talk about it.
No, because the Prime Minister, for quite a number of days now, have been pointing fingers on others in the failure of the maintenance of the country's infrastructure, blaming others for what he has not done since his administration has been in power. Because if the Prime Minister does not remember, he keeps referring back to the 18 years, which ended 17 years ago. And of that 17 years, the JLP administration has been in power for 13 of those 17. And he keeps blaming the opposition, which for me is a failure of his own administration. Because, Mr. Speaker, we've been asking the Prime Minister about the drainage plan since 2019 that he announced that has been completed. We have not seen anything done towards that drainage plan. We are hearing about Spark as if Spark will be the answer. The question, no, members. We appreciate the start and that something is being, you know, listen to me now. Hold on. Spark in the Prime Minister said that there are 27,000 kilometers of road. And of that 27,000 by National Works Agency numbers,
my viewers and subscribers,
$30 million per.
I have one favorite daddy on the line. But I make the bridging finish talk. Then daddy I just unfold some history. But enough of we don't know. So we make the bridging don't talk about Angella worthlessness.
Kilometer to overlay. If he is to spend that $20 million, you're getting about 740 kilometers of road out of 27,000. The Prime Minister has already announced the first phase, Mr. Speaker, which is $20 billion, which the government itself
some leverage in my child looking at my viewers and subscribers.
Securitizing the revenue from Norman Manley International Airport to finance the first phase of Spark. So while we know where the revenue, where it is coming from, we're not sure where the second and third phase, as the Prime Minister said, over 3 years, where that will be financed from.
Because
so we only guarantee at this point in time the first phase. At the same time, where is the maintenance program to deal with that? Because it is the same Prime Minister who went and cut the ribbon to the Southern Coastal Highway before it has even.
On the saw them expose him.
We have been told that the Southern Coastal Highway has not yet been handed over by the contractor.
But the Prime Minister
to the government,
cut ribbon.
But yet still the Prime Minister went out here to cut ribbon.
Love cut ribbon and Mr.
That
cut
the
ribbon
road is
in
now
name.
open. Yet still, even though we are in the liability phase, well, we cannot be even in the liability phase because the road has not yet been handed over.
And
it has not yet been handed over. So,
Star girl in the house.
what needs to happen, Mr. Speaker?
Charmaine in the house.
Is the Prime Minister himself
have daddy on
and
the
his
line ready for come burn some
needs
fire.
to take some responsibility.
Christy,
because
daddy
yes,
on the line ready for
the
come burn some
infrastructure has
fire.
been deteriorating for a while.
Done.
But yes, it is a fact that his administration has not done enough to maintain the infrastructure as we have it.
You remember them first time time they must have put on care and Ashdood. You look at that, go just swinging to side to side.
Trying to market Spark and reach. And as the member said, reach not reaching as Spark, not Spark. But has been using it as if it is the answer. And I keep asking the question, Mr. Speaker. Where is the national plan dealing with our drainage? Because they have to be dealt with at the same time while we are dealing with our road network. Mr. Speaker.
They're learning at the house. Big up yourself.
Mr. Speaker.
So, I want to see them export.
There you have it. So, Angella Brown Burke posed some excellent questions, ladies and gentlemen. Angella Brown Burke posed some excellent questions to the Prime Minister. And the last question that she posed was, I just need to understand, why is it that you are blaming us for everything and you're not taking any accountability for the roads that you are now in control of? You are the government. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense whatsoever. So let's go back to what she actually posed, which are some very good questions. Yes.
Well, the first one is whether or not this $22 million program is going to go the way of the 40 million, the spark and the reach. That not sparking nor reaching. That was the first question. The second question, Mr. Speaker, is as I listened to the Prime Minister, I was wondering if this was his first term in government.
He is coming in speaking as if this is his first year in government. He has been there for 9 years, but he wants to create a narrative and push this idea to people that, oh, you know, I just came into power and we just realized that, oh, the PMP did a terrible job for 18 years and the infrastructure is horrible. Just taking no accountability whatsoever. The same thing that Kamala Harris did at one point in the debate, blaming Trump for something that he was not in control of. Honestly, this is the same MO. Listen to this.
And whether or not there is no responsibility for any of the period that has passed for the work that the government would have been doing in maintaining our roadways.
Exactly. You came and saw roads, right? You know the problem, right? You understand what the government before you didn't do. So why are the roads getting worse? It don't make no sense. Make it make sense.
Second one. The third question, Mr.
You hear how she laugh? Then can't take them question and bite them wicked in them, man. Them a feel the pinch, you know, man. The PMP have them on the ropes, you know. You understand them? They've been on the ropes for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? And PMP is not wasting no jabs. They not wasting no punches. I wish the UIC was in Parliament too. Boy, that would be fire. Lord have mercy.
Mr. Prime Minister, has to do with the fact that the monies are to be spent by the end of February. In my experience, even when the program is submitted, there are times when, because of negligence on NWA's side, we find that we are approaching the deadline and they have not moved. I want to make sure, therefore, that you are going to ensure that it is done in a way that we are not held responsible for the negligences of the NWA.
That is key. Now, that is something I did not know. She just taught me something, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't purport to know everything. I didn't know that that's how it works. The NWA be dragging their foot, and then the MPs get the blame for the roads that have not been fixed. And according to the Prime Minister in his speech, February is the deadline for the money to be spent that they're going to give them every month, or it's going to be reallocated into the funds. It sounds good at the first when I first heard it, but learning this, well, they got to work out something else, because that's not going to fly at all. That's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Because the NWA always be dragging their foot, and that's facts.
And then my final question really is that, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm not sure if you have ever heard of this slogan, never come see, come see. It is a Jamaican term. Never come see, come see. It is a Jamaican term. And as I listened to your speech today, I was wondering if you were epitomizing that never come see, why everything you blame we instead of taking responsibility.
Epitomizing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, on this platform, we actually learn stuff. Epitomizing. What does that mean? Wow. Epitomizing. Epitomizing. What does that mean? All right. Meaning be a perfect example. Okay, so she's saying that Mr. Holness is being a perfect example of the phrase "no come see, come see." Let's play that back. Shout out to Angella.
Slogan, never come see, come see.
Oh, never come see, come see. So he is, according to the meaning of the word, he's the perfect example of never come see, come see. Right? That means he has zero experience and he don't know what he's talking about. Because how in the world are you going to blame the PMP for the roads when you have been in power for 9 years? How are you going to blame them for not putting in the infrastructure to clean out the drains, not putting in the system to actually maintain the roads when you had 9 years to understand First of all, the problem that there's no system, and second of all, fixing the problem of there being no system. Make it make sense. And you're not short of cash. You're certainly not short of cash, because you guys have wasted over 400 million Jamaican dollars on 2 buildings that are unoccupied. Monies that is going into one, a member of parliament, Norman Dunn's pocket, because he owns one of the buildings, an empty building in Anata Bay. The other one, we can't find out who owns the building because of the Procurement Act. And it's alleged that's also owned by another MP in government. I mean, bro, what are we talking about? $1.7 trillion missing in the Prime Minister's office, unaccounted for. You have $700 billion in the healthcare system that cannot be accounted for. So you have money. You got a lot of money to fix a lot of things, but y'all wasting millions of dollars on by-elections. When you got drains that need to be cleaned, you keep jumping up talking about, oh, you know, climate change is real, but yet still you're not doing anything to combat the climate change, like cleaning out the freaking drains. And then you wonder why the roads are being destroyed. You want to blame the PNP for that? When the rain is falling so continuously? Come on, man. And the rain shouldn't be an excuse. Since as you're so versed on climate change, fix the damn roads and put the drainage in place so that the water can run somewhere and not damage the road. So that the water can run where it's supposed to, like in the river, to the sea. Can I get an amen? Man, this bro crazy. But then you want to blame the entire PNP, man. This is some weak stuff, man. And shout out to Mr. Mikeal. Let's go back and hear what he had to say, because this is ridiculous.
He keeps referring back to the 18 years, which ended 17 years ago.
Do the math. Yes, sir.
And of that 17 years, the JLP administration has been in power for 13 of those 17.
All right, so for 17 years, he keeps referring about the 18 years ago. So the PNP hasn't been in power for 18 years. And they haven't been in power for almost the same amount of time, 17 years. And for the 13 years out of that 17, the JLP has been in power. When are you going to take responsibility? You have been in power for 2/3 of the time that the PNP was in power for. You understood what they did wrong, according to you, Mr. Holness, when they was in power, right? So where are your plans, and why is it taking so long for them to be implemented? You talk about a Spark program that's going to take 10 years. So we're supposed to wait on you to fix the road problems in Jamaica, and it's going to take you 10 years? That's what we're supposed to do, right? Right. And some of the roads that you already made have been destroyed. Why should we trust you? You haven't proven to do anything. So how long we supposed to put you in power again? You gotta be kidding me, man. Whose man is this? Oh my God! Wait a minute, what's going on here?
What can goes on?
I don't know, man. This man is crazy, bro.
If he keeps blaming the opposition, which for me is a failure of his own administration.
Exactly. I agree 100%.
Because, Mr. Speaker, we've been asking the Prime Minister about the drainage plan since 2019 that he announced that has been completed.
Oh, so there's supposed to be a drainage plan since 2019 and he has not given you guys any answers? I wonder why. And if that drainage plan was put into place, he probably would have a stronger argument blaming the PNP. See, we put a drainage plan in place, and look at all the rain that fell, and the roads are still good. Then he could have said something. But, bro, what? You're a failure, Mr. Angella, and your entire administration is a failure, top to bottom. You don't own the trust of the people, not any well-thinking persons anyway. All right? We see y'all as criminals, period. Because y'all assets cannot be declared, a lot of you, and some of y'all are still on the investigation. Not to mention some of the subordinates that's not in Parliament that is also questionable. There's a whole litany of you guys. I mean, I don't trust none of y'all. Real talk.
I've not seen anything done towards that drainage plan. We are hearing about Spark as if Spark will be the answer. The question, no.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's a promise. It's a promise. It sounds good. It sounds good. But in real life, though, shout out to Armando Black. It sounds good.
No, members, we appreciate the start and that something is being, you know, listen to me now. Hold on. Spark in the Prime Minister said that there are 27,000 kilometers of road. And of that 27,000 by National Works Agency numbers,
my viewers and subscribers,
$30 million per.
I have one of favorite daddy on the line, but I don't know.
Overlay. If you used to spend that $20 million, you're getting about 740 kilometers of road out of 27,000. The Prime Minister has already announced the first phase, Mr. Speaker, which is $20 billion, which the government itself
some leverage match I looking at my viewers and subscribers.
Securitizing the revenue from Norman Manley International.
So that is interesting. They have secured the funding for the initial stages of the Spark. But what Mr. Mikeal is saying, there's not any indication of where, after it Spark, what is going to hold the flame alight for this program to keep moving forward. And I think that's a fair question. Have they thought that far ahead? Or is this just a spark and not a flame? Is this a long-term fix, or is it, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I think y'all know what I think already. Sheesh, I don't trust these people at all. You heard? Real talk.